me. Oh, I didn't know that was bad. My bad, but like actually, no, actually, you found out. Ow. That was actually, don't mess with Bradley Martyn, baby, especially when he's trying to cover that hairline.
That who that is?
Yeah, it's Bradley Martyn.
Okay, I could definitely tell. I was like, he looks familiar.
Yeah, this twink was trying to, came up to Bradley Martyn, stole his hat, and, Bradley Martyn, he's known for wearing his hats because, we, as we get older, our hair gets thinner, and that is, as you can tell on this podcast, sometimes the light, because we have a light right above us.
Yes.
So sometimes it hits my head, and you see my bald spots.
Same.
It's what we deal with when we're almost 31, people. I'm going to be 31 in 3 days, all right? It's not what 2 days, really? Oh, wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've been told about postpartum hair loss, so.
Oh Jesus, no! But your hair is nice and thick and long, and you want to cut it.
I do.
Why?
Because I just feel like it's summer, it's hot.
Time for a change.
Yeah, it is time for a change. Like,
should I buzz my hair?
It's literally called the mom chop. By the way,
really?
It's a thing on TikTok. Yeah, like when you have kids, or when you have your first kid or whatever, you chop it off.
Really? You're gonna get the mom chop, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's why, like I said, with me being 31 and my hairline, or my hair thinning, hopefully, because I have one side of my family, that, my grandpa and stuff was bald on my mom's side, but then, my dad, he still has a thick head of, black hair, no gray, no white, no nothing. So hopefully, I get more of that, but your hairline does thin as you get older.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to cut my hair now or buzz it or, because I feel like it'll be that point, where you cut it.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't want to grow back after that.
Because really, I feel like your hair, in a weird way knows how to, communicate with you. So, yeah, I would overthink it and be like, if I cut it, I feel like I'm telling, my hair pores, it's okay.
It's okay. Just
it's okay, let go.
Let go. Oh, gosh, see, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I did not want that.
Oh,
but today we're talking about childhood throwbacks. Throwbacks.
I like it.
Now that, like I said, that I'm going to be 31 this week, I yearn for the childhood memories and living vicariously through our daughter.
Definitely.
With the childhood stuff and toys and shows and stuff oh my gosh. We wanted to grow up so fast, people. Now look at us.
Yep.
Now look at us.
It's such a cliche saying, when you grow up, you're gonna want to go back. It's like, okay, sure.
Right. Growing up, did you ever eat breakfast at school?
Usually I didn't. Like
elementary?
Oh, okay. Well, elementary, yes. In elementary, I don't know if it was that way with you too, but they would literally bring us breakfast.
What do you mean?
I would go into my class and breakfast would be set out for us at our desks.
Oh, see, we had something like that. It was called grab and go, where as soon as we get off the bus and go into the lobby of the school, it would be teachers passing out bags, little doggy bags, but not the brown bags. It would be white, same difference. And then they would give us a little juice box or a little milk or whatever, and we go and we just got so used to just freaking waking up at 7 in the morning to freaking forcefully get changed and get on a bus or go to school, and then we're just literally sitting in a classroom at 8 a.m. drinking milk and eating a ham and cheese croissant. We're like, this is life.
Yeah. But I feel too, when you're in elementary, you gotta think, because I would expect that too, especially now, having our daughter and stuff. I would expect the elementary school because, at that point, nutrition, at that age, nutrition is so important that, don't give my child the option of breakfast. You give them breakfast. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that I would expect. But it's just of course, when you get into high school, teenager, it's okay, well, if they don't want breakfast, we're just going to leave it up to them.
Right. So. What was your favorite breakfast item?
Definitely the pizza. Literally.
Breakfast pizza?
Yeah, the breakfast pizza. To this day, I'm still trying to figure out, the true recipe. I just got to try the recipes and figure out, which one is the closest.
Oh, man. I loved, I would have that every now and again. I guess when I was in the mood for it, I'd be like, I'll try breakfast pizza. But ham and cheese croissants, me and my brother, we loved the ham and cheese croissants. They'd come and they'd heat them up in the plastic to where it was heated up and melted in the plastic. You'd open it and eat it. You get probably microplastics.
You'd scrape the cheese off the
plastic. It probably has freaking plastic debris and microplastics in the croissant, but it just looks so good in the freaking package.
Yeah, my school did have like a copycat like Whataburger breakfast on a bun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like the bun, and it had like the egg patty with like the sausage patty. I think that's why still to this day, like if I get Whataburger breakfast, like it's of course like a bob.
Yeah, no matter like what you get for Whataburger, like even if you're in the mood for like a Whataburger chicken strip sandwich, like you still got to get a bob on the side.
Yes,
you
for sure. Between 11 and 11.
Yeah, exactly. And then so what about like middle school? See, middle school was weird for me because I liked eating breakfast in middle school. Again, they had the ham and cheese croissants in middle school, and it was weird because like growing up, I was like growing up in a Hispanic household. I was a Hispanic kid. Even though I didn't know Spanish, but like my dad dressed me like in elementary school, so like I went to school wearing the typical like U.S. Polo accent and the Tommy Hilfiger and stuff. So I just made friends with all the other Hispanic kids.
Right.
As we get into middle school, I'm starting to venture out into my emo phase, and they're starting to venture into their like cholo phase.
Yeah.
So why did I do that? I was like, did you hear that?
No.
Anyway, so that was like the cool thing in middle school is like not only was breakfast cool because they ham and cheese croissant, but breakfast is when I hung out with those kids. I would hang out with like the cholo Hispanic kids during breakfast because that's actually the real kids that I grew up with since elementary school. So I would hang out and talk to them. But then after like we start class and like lunch and stuff, I would go and hang out with my emo crowd. So it was kind of like I've always like kind of was like a chameleon. Even get into high school once I got into it. Hanging out with the jocks. It was like I was like kind of a chameleon where I could kind of hang out with like different groups. That's why I like saying growing up I was more of an emo kid, but I was, but then I wasn't because I was fond of like jumping groups. Like, oh, I'm hanging out with these people now. I'm hanging out with the jocks. Now I'm hanging out with the cholos. Now I'm hanging out with the emo kids. Now I'm hanging out with the cheerleaders. Like whatever, like even guy and girl cheerleaders.
Yeah, well that must have been nice because I didn't really have friends, so I didn't have anywhere to jump at all.
Jesus, I'm sorry. Well, for the record, I probably would have been that kid in high school had I stayed in Houston, but I moved to a country town where you would think like you're the new kid in school and you're totally different from everyone because you're this emo kid in the town of 5,000 people that never seen an emo kid before. You would think I would get picked on and bullied, but I was like I was saying,
you were exotic.
Yeah, they were like, oh, who is this kid? Like, oh, you're cool. Like, oh man, what is whatever, blah blah blah.
Man,
so
to be loved.
No, I definitely had some hard times.
Oh yeah,
school.
for sure.
I think we all had.
Did you ever have lunch by yourself though?
No.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't have any friends.
Oh my god,
I'm so sorry. My mom like moved me so much that like I hardly like by the time I made friends like I moved and I had to make new ones. And that took forever because I guess people don't look at me and be like, "Oh, I want to be friends with that girl."
Damn, I would have been friends with you.
I know you would, babe, but like literally like my freshman year, like I would just pack my own lunch and I would just eat by myself, really.
Man, we would let you hang out with our groups because to be fair, the emo kids were kind of the rejects, but we were like the cool rejects.
Where like you accepted everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
I guess in a small town it was kind of different too because like as people grow up it's like you're such a small town like I was the exotic kid coming in, like I said, the foreign kid coming in, but these other people like grew up with each other regardless of the, like I said about middle school, regardless of the past they took or whatever, they still grew up with each other. So even though they like were part of different cliques, they still knew each other. Like, hey, that's Tim, he hangs out with the emo kids, but I've known him since elementary school. I'm over here hanging out with these types of kids. Like it was like that in a small town.
Yeah.
Like I said, so had I been like you and then went to high school in a big city like I was supposed to until we moved, I probably would have fell into that too. I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, but then again, you would think like you're in like a class of almost 1,000 kids, so it's like plenty of friends to go around. But shoot, out of 1,000 friends, 1,000 people, nobody wanted to be friends with me.
You're about to make me cry. Do you really? Did you really not like? You had friends.
I had friends like in my class, but you know what it was too is that we were separate like lunch shifts. So it's like if I did have somebody that I could like potentially
A lunch, B lunch, C lunch.
If I could, there was 3 separate lunch shifts. So let's say like I was literally first lunch, I had nobody, but somebody that I potentially could sit with had possibly second or third. So yeah, it kind of sucked being, I guess, maybe it is easier in like in a smaller city, like you said. So you're about to make me cry.
That's just sad.
I know, but it's whatever.
But like that was just like you only like ate lunch by yourself a few times. You right?
No, like, yeah, if you're asking, like, for clarification, like, yes, like, eventually I would sit with somebody, but it was just hard in the beginning, yeah, until you actually got, like, an established group. Really, like, my best lunch year, I would say, was, like, my senior year. Because, yeah, I do specifically remember sitting at, like, the same table senior year, and it was just with a bunch of girls and stuff, and we all had our packed lunch and our Vera Bradley lunch boxes, like,
See, like, lunch, like,
typical.
right. Vera Bradley lunchbox. So y'all didn't have the Stanley Cups back then?
No. That, like, Vera Bradley is, like, today's Stanley.
But see, to be fair, because like I technically would have lunch by myself or just with one other person, because like junior, senior year, I did a lot of it was allowed to off campus lunch. We had off campus lunch, so we are allowed to drive off campus, go to McDonald's, whatever. So yeah, like there was times where I would just be hanging out with like one person, hanging out with a friend, and like we just go get McDonald's together. But then you would see other people from the school there, and then you'd end up sitting at the table at McDonald's. So it's like instead of sitting at like a lunch table at lunch, you would just be sitting at McDonald's or Whataburger right there in town.
Yeah, see, and that's cool too, because like, yeah, I didn't have off-campus lunch because somebody literally got unalived, and so they just took it away.
Yeah,
but yeah, I mean that's on them, but I don't know.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you get dropped off or did you take the bus? I grew up always taking the bus.
My mom literally forced me to take the bus, basically.
Oh. She didn't drop you off from school?
My mom's never been a driver.
Wait, I thought like your brothers and stuff always got dropped off by you.
Exactly, yeah. It wasn't until I was the driver. Yeah, I had to take the bus. Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought you were just always dropped off. Like there was always the dropped off kids. Like they had a great relationship with their parents. It's like damn, or their parents had good careers. It's like damn, your parents get up every day and freaking pick you up, or take you to school and drop you off.
Especially the ones that get man, you were like extra loved if you got breakfast and then you got dropped off.
Oh my gosh, I would be freaking Daniel's kid in elementary school.
Yeah.
His parents were like freaking doctors, or his dad was a dentist and his mom was a doctor. Kid was so spoiled.
Man. Yeah.
Come to school, freaking Dunkin' Donuts and shit. Being dropped off with his dad in a Rolls Royce.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were the kids that everybody wished to be, but
then
they're probably nobody's now.
But then when I was a senior, I drove to school, and then that was always cool driving to school senior year and getting breakfast beforehand.
And I never got that opportunity to experience that because I didn't even learn how to drive until after I graduated.
There's a lot of people I knew that like that, but luckily, because I got held back in first grade, so that's the only reason why I technically was 18 already when I was a senior. When I graduated as a senior at 18, but the next month I turned 19. So I was literally practically almost 19 when I graduated.
Yeah.
So that was because I got held back in first grade. So yeah, and I had a big Tahoe, so people would be like, "Oh, come pick me up or take me home." Yeah. A lot
Your
of people
Tahoe
be like,
was
driving,
the bus.
driving that big bus. I see that big maroon bus. I had a friend named Boo Boo. He'd be like, "I see you driving around that bus."
See, and the only time I didn't ride the bus was senior year, and that was because my ex had a car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he would literally take me and my brother to school at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I'd be like, oh, okay.
Freedom that way.
I'd be like, can you take me to school? My mom's like, as long as he takes Kyle too,
Yeah.
Don't make Kyle ride the bus.
Right, yeah.
Which, I didn't really care.
And I think, my senior year, I had the Tahoe, but the Tahoe transmission messed up, and then I used, ex-girlfriend's, her mom had an old car that let me use it, and that's when it was after the fair. I was driving. I was like, I went to school. I went to school all day, and then after school we had the fair, which is like kind of like a carnival, big,
right. In a small town,
shops,
it's a big deal.
Little country concerts in a small town, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And so I went straight from my last day of school on a Friday, and then we went to the fair. And then I had to be at work at 5 a.m. I worked at a place where I train hunting dogs. So we had to go and train early in the morning. So I had to be over there at 5 a.m. And I stayed over at a friend's house. And he actually worked with me at the place. His name was Ocean. And he woke me up at 5 in the morning. He's like, we gotta go. And I'm like, okay. I get up, and he was waiting for me outside, but we had separate cars. So as soon as I walk out the door, he sees me. He's like, all right, Vinny's out the door. And then he takes off. He's like, he's like, I'll see you there. And he takes off.
Yeah.
And I get in the car, and I'm freaking driving. And then I'm driving, and I'm freaking tired. And I'm like, what happens maybe if I just close one eye? And the next thing you know, I wake up, went over a freaking, like where the like the gutters, like how, in between places it goes like that. I freaking went over, and the freaking, I didn't know what was going on. I had just woken up. I thought I rode or whatever. And it turns out I was in the air. because it literally in the paper it said car goes airborne, and because that's when I heard a and I was up, I guess when I was in the air, and then boom, a freaking hit between like a hit in the gutter between a tree and the fence line. Literally, I had a guardian angel because the only thing that saved me was because when I was falling asleep, I had opened the sunroof because I was like, I need more air. I had the windows down and I had the sunroof open. I was like, I need air to hit me. I need air to hit me. The freaking the sunroof was about right here, and my head was about right there. So about this much of my head would have been had that sunroof not been open, or it just would have went through glass.
Yeah.
Or if there was no sunroof at all. You know?
Yeah, squished.
So, yeah, definitely look at that day. I don't even know how we got onto this, but...
Yeah, no, that's just really crazy.
So, yeah, that was last time I drove, and then I basically... because we're talking about the bus.
Right.
My whole point is after that is, like, I had spent some of my junior year driving, and then my senior year driving, only to, at the end of my senior year, go back to taking the bus. Because I wrecked that car, my Tahoe was messed up, and I wrecked that car, I had no other cars. So literally, my last bit of senior year, I went back full circle to taking the bus.
Oh, man. See, at least, like, literally, I got to end at least I got to end high school, you know, being driven.
Yes.
Because obviously I didn't even know how to drive at this point, so, yeah.
Good things.
Man.
I mean, is there any other things you can think of, or any other highlights of school? Like, do you have any specific first day of school memories?
The nervous shits.
Really? You
Yes.
always nervous? You always like
No
always
matter
had
what.
you always had your clothes laid out, like what you're gonna
Oh.
wear on the first day and stuff. Yeah,
Yes,
that
and
was
my
cool.
mom was real anal about, like, everything needs to be ironed, like, every day.
gosh.
We would take turns, like, ironing our, like, everybody would set out their clothes on the couch, and, you know, it was one day it was my turn to iron all the clothes, the next day it was Kyle's turn, yeah, and then the rest of my brothers take turns. I have 3 brothers, by the way. So, yeah, we'd all take turns ironing and stuff like that, so, yeah, my mom was real, like, yeah, about all that.
I don't think we had to do that, but like in elementary, early middle school, and my dad's business was doing like great or whatever. He
Yeah.
would take our clothes to the cleaners and get them like starched. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but he probably paid a lot of money for that. But like I didn't have her tell me like that. Like
That's
I don't
bougie.
like this. You'd freaking open like the pants and you can literally stand them up. He would always get our pants like starched like paper thin. And I did not like it. You walk around all day feeling like you're walking around in a cardboard
Like a
box.
scarecrow
Finally,
or
by
something.
lunch, it would break up and you start to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we got those heavy starch pants, and
Yeah.
like you'd
Yeah.
trying to get through it. Like, oh, I didn't like that. So then I think when I got older and started being more independent with my own style,
Right.
I didn't fucking iron my shit. Like, I would throw it in the dryer for a couple minutes, you know,
Yeah.
beforehand or something.
Yeah, wrinkle release setting.
Yeah.
Nice, but yeah, really every time I think about it, it's funny too because literally I went to the same high school for 9th, 10th, 12th. I'm sorry, why did I just skip that in my brain? 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And yeah, you just don't know what to expect, you know? You're nervous about what classes you're going to get and stuff. Because I don't know how it was with you, but like, did you have to like go to school on your first day and like collect your schedule?
Oh yeah.
Or did you know that like
was
ahead
always,
of time?
That was always no. We had orientation where you go and you get to see your classes beforehand.
Oh,
And you
okay.
kind of get used to where everything is.
See, my
Get your
mom, I don't even
locker.
think we ever went to that.
No,
Can-
my mom would always take us. My mom was heavily involved in everything we had to do with school. So yeah, she
Yeah.
would always take us to orientations and stuff and
Nice.
meet
Open
the
like
teachers.
parent night.
Yeah, all that good stuff. My teachers would tell my mom how shitty I'm doing. No, there was some subjects I liked. Like math was always like math. There would be like some topics we'd cover in math, and I'm like, this is so easy. I love this. This is like super. Like this is cool.
Yeah.
I know math, and then it'd switch over to another topic, and like I'd be like, what the fuck is this? Like anything. Like that's what it was. Fractions. I always hated fractions in math. I was
Oh,
good
yeah.
at everything else in math but fractions, and then once I finally mastered that in high school, I was like, boom, I'm good at math. I love math, and then hit pre-cal, and I was like, what is this shit?
See, I was
And
I was so stupid with math that I never even made it to pre-cal.
Pre-cal was my last senior year. I
Yeah.
think I barely made it through to pre-cal, and I was like, no, math sucks again.
Yeah, I still to this day do not have a math college credit. Like I need to literally take like a remedial before if I ever go back to
Yes.
school. I would need to like
think
take
I
a
do, too.
remedial to be able to be college level math because
Yeah,
Oh,
I think I literally have like 1 year left to finally get my degree, and I think I literally have 1 year plus remedial math to take.
And the only reason why I never hit pre-cal was because I think it was my junior year, I took something called math models. Do you know what that is?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, math models is basically just like a dumber version of math, but you basically like go over the stuff again, like fractions and stuff like that. And yeah, you can pay me to know stuff like that, and I would not know anything.
What was your favorite? My favorite topics, of course, like science other than chemistry, and history, not government.
My favorite class of all time of all of high school was anatomy.
Oh, interesting. But that wasn't an actual class. That was like a section of science.
Yeah, it was.
It was like a
science.
6 weeks course.
No,
or was there an actual like anatomy class?
Yes.
Oh,
her name was Miss. Her name was Miss Montalvo. Yeah, she was badass. We did dissections, and yeah, I remember she had like she was just like such a good teacher that I can remember is like even like the way that she had us take notes was like interesting. Like she was just so cool. So like still to this day, I say like that was my all time favorite class, and you know she was even cool to the extent where like there were some people who took anatomy but like weren't comfortable with dissections. So she would like literally be like, you can either dissect or I can give you like this worksheet and you can do this, and some people would opt out of dissections and she was cool about it. So she like respected everybody and stuff like that. So yeah, all-time favorite, anatomy.
Wow, I think I went through a phase. I think in my senior year, like I said, other than pre-cal, I literally did not do pre-cal. Was the only class I had senior year because I was part of DECA, and like especially in a small town, when you're in any sports or recreational activities, like I was in this business organization as DECA, we got to travel, to Florida. We got to travel to Utah. We were in international competition. You kind of like the teachers kind of like just. Kind of let you slide. So I had like my senior year, I had like 3 classes where I literally just stayed with my DECA teacher and like did nothing.
Yeah.
Every like 3 months out of the year we'd work on our DECA projects. But other than that, did you have anything kind of like that? Like, man, it was so cool. Like I feel like I had some kind of freedom in high school because like we would like be late coming back from like off campus lunch and she'd like have someone open the back door for us so we wouldn't get a tardy, and like I just loved like I don't know, that's kind of like nostalgia I kind of yearned for is like in high school, kind of had it made. But then look, turns out maybe that's not a good thing to like, 17, 18-year-old students have it made and be teachers' favorites because then they grow up and expect that favoritism the whole rest of their life.
Yeah, I mean the only teacher I can think of was Potential, but man, that kind of got messed up. But even now to this day, like I have her on Facebook. Like that's cool too. You can tell like what teachers were cool because you used to have them on social media and stuff. No. And I do still have one of my old teachers on Facebook, and yeah, she just kind of like she was cool until she like kind of disowned me for like a year because she didn't like my ex-boyfriend.
Oh god.
And so she literally
why did she get involved in that? That's a little too much.
Right, she like took that out on me, so she started treating me differently, but as soon as we broke up she was like cool with me again. So yeah.
What about like any childhood games or like toys? Like, did you play with toys? I mean, everyone played with toys growing up. Did you play with like Barbies and stuff?
Barbies, Polly Pockets, stuff like that. But yeah, I was just probably like typical girl when it came to toys.
Right. Me was like, of course, first love was like Power Rangers and like Megazords and stuff. And God, if we still had those old Megazords we had when we were kids, it'd probably be worth a lot. And then once I got into wrestling, it was all wrestlers. It was all wrestlers. But then superheroes like Marvel too. Like, but I would incorporate them in wrestling. Like I'd buy a Gambit toy or Spider-Man toy or Wolverine toy or Hulk toy, and I would have the Hulk versus Triple H for the World Heavyweight title. I'd have Spider-Man versus Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight title. I would still implement things like that. I'd have Gambit versus Chris Jericho for the Intercontinental title. Yeah. And so it was all like wrestlers and Marvel toys from then. I remember the day I was like 12 or 13. And I was like, I'm getting too old. I had to put up all my toys. I put them in a box, saved them. Now they're gone.
I know,
where
right?
They went.
Yeah, see, that's the worst part too. And yeah, I guess like with girl toys, like, are you familiar with like the heads, like the Barbie heads?
Oh, they like you would just like practice,
you can like brush their hair and do their makeup and stuff like that. Yeah, I did like those too. I had a couple of those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are always cool. Yeah, literally. Yeah, I feel like with girls, like, because guys, it's like typical like action figures, wrestlers, things like that. But girls, like, they have more like creative toys, like just like a head, you just play with the hair.
Yeah, and growing up, this is like completely opposite, but I was kind of during my childhood, I was really into computer games. Like Disney Channel at one point had super badass like computer games. Like you can like literally like do games based on like each like series.
Oh yeah,
You know, like if you had a favorite TV show on Disney Channel, like there was a game about it on on the website. So.
See, so technically you're a PC player. You need to try playing games on PC again.
Technically, yeah.
Because I always grew up with console, and I grew up with older brothers, so we literally had, you know, Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64. I don't know if we had a PlayStation. I know my uncle had a PlayStation. My uncle Junior had a PlayStation, but other than that, I don't think we had PlayStation because I think we were just because PlayStation, Nintendo 64. I think we're out in the same time, so you're either one or the other. I think we were Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
And then of course jump to GameCube, PlayStation 2, all that good stuff. I grew up on consoles, which is hard now because I want to transfer to a PC gamer, but it's so hard when you're just used to that console feel.
Right. And see, maybe now that you say that, maybe it's just like a male, like boy and girl thing, I would say, because like maybe like girls like me were into more of the computer games. Like, oh my God, I remember I would get online and I would do, there was a website named, it was MyScene. They were like, like their own sort of Barbies. They were like their own kind of brats, I guess, in a way. You know how like Barbies and brats are similar?
Right.
MyScene was like kind of similar to those as well. And you would do MyScene like makeovers and like, you'd be able to do their makeup and hair and stuff like that. And then Disney Channel specifically had like Lilo and Stitch. Like there was like a Lilo and Stitch like sandwich stacker game that I would play. And then Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. There was one where you're like running through the halls of the. I gotta find these pictures. So you can bring them up. But
for every show, and I guess that's a good like way to get in. To want to get into it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then of course it's like when you're like watching the TV show, they're advertising for this, so it's like, oh, I want to play, So.
Yeah, of course. That's how it would reel you in there. The only computer games I remember playing when I was a kid is like Math Blaster. I like Math Blaster.
Yeah.
That was like an educational computer game. That's the only thing I remember. I remember growing up, I had people across the street, an Indonesian family. They were actually really good friends, and was the brother and then was the older sister. But I would go over to their house to like play video games and stuff, and like they would just like pull out these like educational computer games and be like, what is this shit? But the only one that was fun was Math Blaster because it was like an alien game where you had to solve math problems to like help the alien move to the next thing.
You ever play like addicting games or like coolmathgames.com?
like downtime in the computer lab.
Yes,
at school.
the computer lab.
Yeah.
Oh, and then eventually they would. And then you remember trying to go on YouTube. And did you ever know any of like the hacks to get onto
they'd be like, oh, if you take out this from the website address, you'll do it.
Yes.
Or if you move the Ethernet cable from this part of the computer to this other part, it'll work.
Yes, like
what?
Trying to like hack the system.
I remember just watching music videos where there was you were able to get music videos that weren't blocked. Some Offspring or something. And then even like
downloading music, you use like LimeWire and stuff.
Oh God, put a virus. I would download music off of LimeWire. We would download whole movies like Sex Drive and Machete and Glorious Bastards. I would even download porn off of LimeWire and give the computer some heavy viruses.
Yeah, that's where the viruses were with the nasties.
Yeah. Oh God, that's where the term comes from. I think I downloaded the wrong Avengers movie or whatever, but it's like you weren't complaining. You're like, okay, I guess I'll still keep this on the PC.
Oh, that's too funny.
Was there any well, actually, let's look at this. Let's look at before as we're continuing. Check out this discontinued. Snacks. Let's see if any pop out to you. Yeah, look at this. Some cheeses. They still make the Oreo.
They do the Oreo booze. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, the Kid Cuisine. I hated Kid Cuisine. I don't give a damn. That shit was nasty. I think I've tried it like once or twice as a kid. Kid Cuisine was nasty.
Yeah, I feel like it all tasted like plastic.
Right? The Oreos,
I do
cereal?
miss the SpongeBob Cheez-Its.
I didn't remember
those.
I don't. I love SpongeBob growing up. That was like my number one show. Yeah. But was there any other, like, because I know we watched, like, I was a Nickelodeon kid, you were a Disney kid, but, I mean, of course, you watched, like, the Oreos, like, I watched MTV, VH1.
Oh, yeah.
VH1, Spike
I watched
TV.
all that, too.
Yeah.
In the morning when you're getting ready, or in the morning when I'm getting ready, I remember this specifically from middle school, too. I would watch MTV, had, like, the music videos in the morning.
Oh, yes.
I'd get ready to those.
Or even late at night, it'd be like the best like countdown music videos. It was always growing up. It was always Lil Wayne in the number one spot. God, I remember these M&Ms, these M&M bars, these M&M biscuits. Those were good. I do remember those. Oh shit, what'd I do?
You gotta go back. You clicked on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wish they made chips in those little like tall cans.
Yes, like the 3D Doritos.
Oh
Those
yes.
were so good.
See,
Those
I
were
think they've recently tried to redo those, but they were not the
No,
same.
they were not the same.
Yeah, and like Oreo cakesters, they still try and make
Yes, like I
those.
feel like those were just here. Now they're gone.
No,
Like,
they're still around.
oh, okay. They try to
Yeah.
remake them.
Mhm.
And these Rugrats bars, I don't remember these Rugrat bars, but these remind me of the old wrestling bars. It would look just like that
Ah.
with the cookie is like an ice cream bar, but with instead of like coated in chocolate. Well, the other side's chocolate, and this side's like a cookie
Mhm.
crunch or whatever. And there would be
Oh.
a print of a wrestler on there, like Bret Hart, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. So that needs to make a
That's
comeback.
cool.
They try to come back with them. You can get them at Target by Good Bar, I think it's what it's called.
Uh-huh.
But they're little vanilla ice cream sandwiches with the like it'll have Becky Lynch or Roman Reigns or something on it. But it's not the same. They need to bring back these.
Yeah.
Oh,
The cereal straws. I went hard on the cereal straws.
That's like something you see the commercials. You always wanted them, but
Yeah.
you just never got them.
Uh-huh.
Waffle sticks. They don't make waffle sticks anymore.
I would assume that they do because they still do. Like Pillsbury. I mean, still does like French toast sticks and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Pancakes. I don't know Lunch was pancakes.
Oh God!
Was-
Can you imagine if Lunchables brings back breakfast versions? They would upcharge those things because did you recently see like Lunchables are getting
No,
expensive?
what the heck is going on,
Lunchables used to be like the quick, easy. Like if you have $1, like you're eating a Lunchable for lunch because
I think they're seeing all these other companies. You see all these because it's the problem with all these other companies. They want to make like gourmet, like adult Lunchables that come with like little sausages and thing, and then it's like $6. It's like
yes,
Lunchable's like, damn, we need to learn from that. So
yeah.
they're just trying to because they know there's probably more adults nowadays than millennials that eat Lunchables more than kids.
Yeah.
So they're just like, yeah, we just gotta up the price a little bit.
Yeah.
Cat dog.
I loved those Trix yogurts.
Oh yes, did I ever tell you about the time that I actually cut my finger on one of those and I complained to my mom and had my mom contact the company for me. I was already like 13, 14 at the time, and yeah, I'm literally a fatty and I'm eating the Trix and there's it's like whatever left debris or a little
Right.
bit left, so I'm literally going like that on my finger and I freaking cut it on the actual container. And yeah, I cut my finger and I was like, Mom, like, you think you can contact them and tell them I cut my finger and see? And literally the lady, as she was talking on the phone with the lady asked like, how old is your son? And she's like, he's 13, I don't know, I think I was 14. She goes, he's 14.
Mhm.
And the lady even told my mom like, oh, doesn't he know Tricks are for kids? And shut the fuck up, lady.
Literally, right?
But they end up sending me coupons for free Tricks. They send me, actually speaking of computer games, they send me like a Tricks computer game. I played it for like a day and I was like, this is lame. Where you're like the Tricks rabbit going through levels. So yeah, and they send me a bunch of coupons and stuff like that.
It's like, damn, they're really trying.
Yeah, and that's probably why I got discontinued.
That's awesome.
Easy score. Remember the different colorful they were just coming out? Were just random colors. You have purple
Yes.
ketchup, green
That's-
green
that's-
Shrek ketchup.
Yeah, the shit full of red 40.
Right, exactly. Oh, the Altoids, the freaking these were. I remember these. These were like the mango sours. Those were like
Ooh.
more sour than Airheads.
I don't even like if you go to like a Walmart or something now, like I don't even think they have Altoids on the like in the front check stands anymore.
Yeah, Altoids got basic.
Yeah.
Sobe, they don't got Sobe anymore.
What?
What was
I vaguely
Sobe?
remember Sobe.
It was like it had teas and like other ones that looked like just white and cum in a bottle. Like they had weird flavors. It was kind of like
Yes.
vitamin water. Is vitamin water still
Yeah.
a thing? Where it just had like Sobe tea, Sobe energy, Sobe nut, like whatever.
You know what I would say is that the nostalgia Sobe is like today's prime.
Right? Literally, Sobe is today's prime.
Yes.
There's just so many of
Wait,
these.
go back up. I was going to say petition for the ice cream cups to bring back the wooden spoons. Am I right?
Yes. Why? We bought a whole thing of little junior ice cream cups one time, and we're like, "Where's the wooden spoons?"
And we're
It's
expecting
supposed to
like
come with
because
wooden spoons.
and mind you, this is Bluebell, so you're assuming like that they like are gonna have like to the T, but
No,
nope.
but yeah, that's literally even just shows that like plus ice cream plus wood.
Yeah.
That Bluebell does not have the little wooden sticks anymore. Like what? Why? Is inflation that bad? You can't give me a little wooden stick. The
Right.
French Toast Crunch. I'm glad they brought those back.
Oh yeah, that's for sure back. I remember seeing that.
Pepsi Twist with lemon. Yeah, that was ass.
Yeah.
There's just so many examples on this website. Like so
Yeah.
many things have been discontinued. And I know the circus animal cracker cookies. I know they had to have discontinued something of them because the ones that you get now aren't the same as we got when we were kids. But
yeah,
there's so many. Check out this website or whatever. I mean, actually, we're not even put the website on thing, but there's so many examples.
Just Pinterest.
So many examples.
Yeah.
Let's look at some reels before we go. You had some you wanted me to see, right?
Oh.
What the fuck?
Sounds a little farty, but
sounds like someone's figuring out fast. Jesus.
So for the audio listeners, this is a red hot copper ball. You've probably seen these videos like on TikTok and stuff. They go viral. So it's the super heated ball, which I actually fact checked this, and these copper balls can reach up to almost like 2,000 degrees. Almost 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, pretty hot. And you do these experiments, and literally, have you ever seen charred chocolate milk? Oh,
that's
God.
bad.
But what really got me was the comments on these.
What do we got?
Because you can imagine like the first things that come to your head. Me after eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m.
Wait, hold on. Let's go back and.
You're still recording the screen, by the way.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a wild guess on why you didn't do regular milk.
Because you'd assume that it looked like cum.
Me after eating Taco Bell at 2 a.m. It's gonna hit you in the dries. Ew. I know exactly what the comments are gonna say. Me when I trust the fart, literally 20 minutes ago.
Oh my God.
5 minutes after clocking in, you made chocolate milk lactose intolerant. Oh my God.
Yeah. Damn,
these comments. Yes, these comments never fail.
Yeah.
My stomach when I go to school. Literally, like anytime I have something to do, that's gonna be my stomach. It's like, oh, you have something to do, you have to leave in like 20 minutes. Guess what? We're gonna make you shit yourself.
Or like when you get paid to poop, so you like wait till you clock in into work to use the restroom.
It's like, all right, I'm going.
Yes.
Because I say for Monster Eye. Marcus, I say for Monster Eye.
Mike, that's going on our soundboard.
This poor girl. What? What was the point of this?
Marcus, I say.
Marcus. Now, ever since I saw this video, I'm like, this literally plays in my brain.
This is your rent-free.
Multiple
this
times.
is your rent-free reel of the week.
Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Must I?
You said the hard one.
My hair just got caught in the fucking whisk. Fuck me. How the fuck do I get it out? Oh shit. It's fucking stuck and it hurts. Ah!
Oh my gosh, poor lady.
Oh no, that wasn't fucking funny. He's fucked me hair. The whisk is stuck in my hair.
I'm sorry, but the Scottish accent is the best in the world.
Yes,
I got my hair caught in the fucking whisk, yeah.
Whisk. Fuck me.
Fuck me, I got my hair caught in the whisk. It's not funny.
Literally, as we're laughing. Oh God, and poor girl is covered in cake batter.
Oh, how does that even happen? Well, like, how does that even put your hair up? How does that even happen?
Literally, her hair is up. I'm still trying to figure out how she did it.
Right? She was like, "What happens if I just show us the first part of what happened."
It's like when you lean in to smell the cake batter.
she's like, "Am I whisking?"
As your whiskey gets.
Oh, it's not funny. Yeah. My hair's in the whisk.
Fuck me.
Fuck me, mate. Yeah.
That's too good.
Yeah. Mm.
I really gotta pee.
You gotta pee?
Yeah.
How long are we going for?
Enough time?
Jesus Christ, people. We're breaking the 30-minute mark finally. Maybe we'll get more views. I don't know. Right? Yeah, literally ever since we've been coming out with
another conversation.
Yeah, we've been coming out with weekly episodes of views. You know what? We teased this episode last week. We'll tease the next episode. This next podcast episode, we're gonna deep dive. So what's the problem with podcasts nowadays?
Yeah.
A hint. We'll give you a hint, people. There's too many podcasts. If you're thinking about starting a podcast, I'm sorry.
Give up.
Don't. Just don't.
Yeah.
Unless you really want to do it for fun, like, or a hobby like we do, because we'll talk about it next week. But yeah. As much as you think, oh, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna do this, like you're not. Trust me, you're not. But just do it for fun. I always wanted to start a podcast because I literally just wanted to have a storage or like a profile of media where you have my thoughts and where I want to talk shit about the things I want to talk shit about, and then doing it with you is even better. So we'll dive more into that next week. Next week will be the end of podcasting, not for us, but in general.
Nope.
You want to send us out?
Yes. Of course, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to catch the Squanchy Show on Patreon. Merch on our website. Link in, I guess, our bio. And then don't forget to follow us on all social media at Cayvin Universe. And Jobber Circle fans, there will be an episode coming out. So stay tuned for that.
Awesome. They're hitting our music, people. Thank you. We love you. And yeah, see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.